Matthew 10:24-39. So, Jesus said that a disciple is not above his teacher. If you're like your teacher, that's like good. The Vietnamese, though, there are the Vietnamese and the Chinese, they have a phrase where if the student surpasses the teacher, that's a great thing. And I think that is actually more true. That of course with Jesus is different because he is the ultimate teacher. He knows all things, he can do all things, and so no one can surpass him because he is God. However, human wise, a student can surpass the teacher because of technological advances, of new discovery. Knowledge is increasing all the time, and so that is true. But he's talking about himself, that if you're like him, if you imitate to be like him, and you imitate well, and you are like him in your action and habit and thoughts, then that is like a great state to be in. And he is saying to them that, look at the Pharisees. These people are calling him, he is getting power from Beelzebub, from Satan, from the devil. And so if they are insulting him like this, they will insult you too, although might not be exactly as severe. But if they insult the teacher, they will insult the student, is what he's saying. And so he's saying, do not fear. And just nothing in secret can remain a secret. God will reveal. And the thing that stood out to me is that God, I always thought of hell as the soul is like a breath from God. So the soul is a part of God. The soul is eternal, and so no one can kill the soul, and that's why its eternal punishment is eternally in an agonized state in hell, where the flames never quenches and it continually burns. And so that's what I thought of the soul and of punishment in hell. However, today in verse 28, it says that God is able to destroy both soul and body. And so when it said destroy, I don't know if it's complete destruction, if it's obliterated, the soul no longer exists. But if that is the case, then why do we need an eternal hell then? Because things can just burn up and eternally be destroyed. So I'm not sure if my understanding is correct anymore. But it clearly says in the Bible that the soul can be destroyed, and God is the one who can do that. So it's not that because it's part of God, it can't be destroyed. He can do that. If he chooses to do that or not, that's up to him though. So that part is like kind of like an eye opener for me. And then it talks about not denying Jesus, and that he fulfilled like this whole thing. Verse 35, I think that is from scripture of prophecy fulfillment. So I thought that this one was for the end time, but the Bible states that clearly that Jesus, during Jesus' time, he was turning people in the family against each other. And I think that is true because Christians were persecuted a lot right after he comes. And so there is this disintegration of the family unit, and this like turmoil within the family unit when he came, because people who turn to Christianity is actually forsaking the old way and adopting something very new and very radical, and their family might not like it, especially the Jewish family. The Jewish family would see that as blasphemous, would see it as heretical. And so so I can see that, like reading it closely, I can see that this is not only for the end time, the end time people heart will grow cold and the family unit will disintegrate similarly, but this actually already started when Jesus came, and Jesus was the one that brought that radical change to the Jewish community and then the Gentile community. And then so in verse 37 through 39, I'm actually trying to generate a song for that. It's kind of hard because it's kind of long, and but you know, like, it is what it is. And so I think it's a very important verse to remember. What we if we love anyone or anything more than God, we're not worthy. And so we need to put God first in all of everything we do, our thought, or behavior, or will, or dreams. So that is very, I guess that is important to understand, reflect, and internalize.